Hello, thank you for watching my channel today. My name is Sarah and my channel is called Your Tree Shelf. Today I've got a vlog for you. I turned 40 yesterday, so as I film this on Sunday, I had my 40th birthday yesterday, and I think 44 is amazing so far. I had such a nice day yesterday. I spent the day with my parents, my brother and his wife and Sam and the kids, and we just had such a nice day, and yeah, it was really joyful, and I woke up today feeling like really happy, and I guess there's something about like new starts and new decades and stuff like that, which is just really cool. And yeah, I'm happy to be 40, and to celebrate, one of the things I did was I went to London book shopping with my friend Hannah, and I have vlogged the trip for you, so I will put the footage in now and then I will come back and I will show you what I bought. I had to try and be really restrained with this book haul because I didn't want to go to like the first shop and spend all my birthday money in one shop and then not buy anything in all the others. So I split it out between the shops, and the first shop we went to, as you've seen, was Daunt Books, which I absolutely loved. I spent about an hour and a half in Daunt, and I bought 2 books there. So the first book that the first book that I bought was this one, which is set in New Zealand, and this is The Bone People by Keri Hulme. I hadn't heard of this book before, but actually won the Booker Prize in 1985. So this is about, it's a debut novel. It says The Bone People is a love story. It begins when a mute 6-year-old, full of blasting hurt and strange charm, wanders off the beach and into the home of a despairing artist. Heroine has given up everything but drinking, thinking and fishing, but the arrival of the boy Simon, and later on his Maori foster father Joe, drags all three into the gyre of possibilities. Cruel, funny, ardent and beautiful, The Bone People is a powerful and visionary New Zealand fable. And when I looked through this, it looks like it's got a really unusual writing style, and it was one that appealed to me, and I would love to read something from New Zealand. Then after that, the second book that I got in Daunt was a non-fiction book, which I have to say that the cover was what attracted me in the first place. But I think I spent longest in the section about the Himalayas. This is High by Erika Fatland. She is from, I believe, Norway. Yeah, Norway. And this is translated from Norwegian by Keri Dickens. This is a book about her trekking the Himalayas. So she goes through Pakistan, Myanmar, Nepal, India, Tibet, and Bhutan. And she goes through countries which have the religions of Islam, Buddhism, and Hinduism, and shamanic beliefs, lots of languages. And this is about her journey, particularly the women that she meets along the way. And this has really great reviews on Goodreads and Storygraph, because I did check the books that I was attracted to. I did check their reviews, and look at the cover. Isn't it just absolutely stunning? So this is quite a big book, but it does, I mean, it's fairly dense, but it has got photos and stuff in, which is cool. But I just find that part of the world like super fascinating, and I was really excited to read about, especially about a woman traveling through those countries, because I don't think I read enough travel memoirs by women. So yes. Then I've bought the first in a fantasy series that I have wanted to try for absolutely ages, because everybody loves this series and everyone talks about it, and that is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. So I know that this is the first one of their Farseer trilogy. There are, I think, 2 other trilogies which sort of link together, but this is the first one. I thought it was going to be a massive book, but it's actually not that big, and it's very, very beautiful, and I'm just really excited to get into this sort of very well thought of fantasy series that I haven't ever heard anyone say a bad word about. The next one I bought was a classic. So I bought Barnaby Rudge by Charles Dickens. I normally get the Penguin editions, and this is a vintage one. This one has a much nicer cover. They didn't have the Penguin one, but they had a mix of Penguin and vintage in the shop, and the black and red spines looked fine together. So I think I need to like not be too fussy and want all the spines to be the same colour. But the reason I bought this was because I am taking part in the Mega Dickens read along that Katie at Books and Things is hosting, which is where we read all the Dickens books in the order of publication over about 2 years. I have fallen behind with it because I was finding it a bit much reading Dickens every single month. So I decided to do it at my own pace. And I find often when I listen to the Dickens books on Audible, even though the narrators are great, they'll often do very exaggerated voices for the characters, especially the women. And I find that really gets on my nerves. So I thought I'd have a go at reading it instead. And this looks very readable in terms of like the size of the print and the margins and stuff. It's not... it looks really tiny when I hold it up like that, but actually the margins are quite good and the print isn't that small, and I just think it would be nice to try and read it rather than listen. I've got about 4 hours through the audiobook, so I've obviously read a chunk of it already. So that's that one. When I went to Gaze the Word, there were so many things that I thought looked amazing, but I chose a YA book. I thought it would be nice to have some a mix of types of book in the books that I bought, and this one is called The Passing Playbook by Isaac Fitzsimmons, and it reminded me a little bit of, the cover was a little bit like Heartstopper vibes, I thought. So I just sort of wanted to get it because I was attracted to the cover. Becky Albertolli blurbs it on the front, and I really liked her book that I've read. So this is about 15-year-old Spencer, a proud nerd, an awesome big brother, and a messy in training. He's also trans. After a year of bullying, Spencer gets a fresh start at a new school with great friends, a spot on the boys' soccer team, and maybe even something more than friendship with one of his teammates. The only thing is, no one knows Spencer is trans. He's passing. So when a discriminatory law forces his coach to bench him, Spencer has to make a choice: cheer his team on from the sidelines or fight for his right to play, even if it means coming out to everyone, including the guy he's falling for. So, and this says Love, Simon, which is the Becky Albertolli book, meets Friday Night Lights, which is a TV series that I absolutely adored, in this irresistible LGBTQ plus romance. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. And then the final two that I bought, one was I've been looking for more books by Nina Lacour after I read and adored Yerba Buena, and the only one that I've been able to find in bookshops is one that she's co-written with David Levithan, and this is a YA book and it's called You Know Me Well. And this is about Mark and Kate, who've been sitting next to each other at school for an entire year but have never spoken, until one fateful night when their lives collide. Kate is running away from a chance of meeting the girl she has loved from afar, while Mark is in love with his best friend Ryan, who may or may not love him back. They are both lost, and finding each other is the last thing on their minds. But they don't realise just how important they will become to each other, and how together they will navigate the joys and heartaches of first love, one truth at a time. Sounds really nice, and I really like the cover. This book is really heavy. I think it must have like really good quality paper because it's just really heavy. I don't know why, because it's only small. And then the final book I bought is the first in a saga series, which I have been highly recommended by Aaron from Aaron Read a Book. And this is the first in the Cazalet Chronicles, that's called The Light Years by Elizabeth Jane Howard. And this is a quite a hefty book, but it sounds really good. It gives me kind of life after life vibes, but without the repeated dying. So it's about a family who come back together every summer to a house in Sussex. There's 3 brothers and a sister, and they come back, and it's set in the interwar period between the First and Second World Wars, and it's just basically about their experience in the First World War, their feelings coming up to the Second World War, each of their sort of family lives, and set, like I say, in this house each summer. So I'm really looking forward to reading this because I do love a family saga, and the fact I like the time period this is set in, and I like the fact that there are several books. I think there's about 5, and they've all got like these new covers. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting started with this series as well. So yeah, that was all the books I bought. So I got 7 in total, and I feel like a real mix of things. I tried not to just go mad and buy everything that I was on my wish list, because I do want to be sort of mindful of my book buying and not just do what I used to do of kind of going into a charity shop and finding loads of books that might be what I wanted to read because they were cheap and I'd heard of them and stuff. So I don't want to buy like that anymore, because then you just end up with a massive TBR of things you end up unhauling. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with all these choices, and I'm really looking forward to getting started reading them. I'd like to prioritise them soon and not just have them linger on my shelves. And then I guess it would be really cool to make some sort of video about reading goals for my 40s, maybe. Whether that ends up being some books that I definitely like to read in my 40s, or series I'd like to finish, or general kind of targets. If you guys have ever done anything like that, or you have thoughts about what would be cool goals, it would be really nice if you shared them below so that I could have a think about what to discuss in that video. And set goals for myself. I think we all love a goal. But yeah, I just had a lovely time in London. I had a brilliant birthday, and yeah, I'm hoping that the 40s will be a very amazing decade. So I hope you're all having a really lovely week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.